Good day everyone, welcome to the sweatiest video on earth. It is so hot in the Netherlands right now and I wish I could have my air conditioner on while I was recording this. Which is perfect actually, because this week's theme is warmth, can you believe that? It is boiling hot out here. You might notice the new camera that we're filming on. It's a funny story actually. It's not that funny. I got access to a Lumix G80 for like 2 weeks or something. I could just test it out and play along with it. If I'm like, damn, that was so sexy, maybe I'll keep it. Maybe I won't, but as a video camera, this shit looks so sexy. And actually, that's not working to my benefit because you can see my sweat now. Okay, first one by Jiggly Champ. Don't think I've seen that name pop up before. I like the coloring. I don't know why. It's slightly lighter than I would perceive it in real life, I think. Either way, composition is not too bad. At the same time, it's not like blowing me away or anything either, but you know, it's a good picture. Good shit. Carlos coming back again for the third week with this beautiful picture of some leaves. I love the type of coloring that's being used here. It looks like they went for a slightly less vibrant color theme. Everything's happening in the lower half of the picture, and the upper half is kind of peaceful and filled out with the background. I love this composition, and this would make for a great icon for anything, honestly. I think it's awesome. Go post that shit on Instagram, man. Make a living off of that. Also, returning member is Joe right here with a loie, which is apparently taken inside somewhere, or maybe in their garden or something. All I know is that they didn't travel far for this picture. But I like it. I think it looks great. It's a cool little vibe. I love the reflections and the lighting on the lighter itself. I'm a big fan. Keep it up, Joe. Then we have Conlage with a beautiful little fiery pit of hell. This photo to me feels like somewhat more of a moment capture as opposed to something you would plan out and try and capture. I get the idea that the foreground is perfectly horizontal and then the background is slanted. But that's kind of impossible because houses are supposed to be standing straight, right? So it's a bit disorienting, which gives me a feeling that it's not taken intentionally like this. That might not be the case at all, but that's all I really have to say about that. As for the prompt warmth, I think you got that right where you need to be. That's good shit. Now this one is mine. I had real trouble actually thinking of a photo for this prompt. One day I happened to be outside at like 6 AM with my camera, and this beautiful sky blessed upon me, this beautiful silhouette. And decided I would take a picture with a little lamp on there, you know, making it glow afterwards a bit in post-production. Not that much though. Everything here is a natural glow. I just enhanced what's there. And yeah, that's my entry. To this day! Alright, next one's Brunch, and this one comes with a wholesome story because he was actually on the fence about getting a camera maybe and taking photos and stuff. But eventually, for some reason, one day he decided to go out and get it. And he discovered a passion, the wonders of trying new stuff. It's super crazy. And then he comes out with this photo here. It's such a good photo too. Like you realize it's set up, but still I get some sort of feeling that I'm at home, you know. I'm chilling. It feels so natural to me somehow, even though it is set up and everyone knows it's just like, oh, I'm gonna put that there, I'm gonna put that there. I think it's a very good way of just taking a photo and making, like going along with the statement that, yes, I am placing these things in frame and I would like to give you an idea of this situation with the things I'm putting in this frame, like this, you know? And this is definitely warmth. It's good. Then the unpronounceable name comes back with a lovely little lit up photo here. I love this. There's so much effort being put into this with the lighting. Of course, we all know blue and orange work wonders together. If you don't believe me, look at any game cover. This looks like a commercial photo almost because of the lighting and how it's all set up. I love the top-down view, and I love how the beans are dispersed all over the photo. It looks very, very presentable, very pleasing. Almost Vanished back with the Huawei P30 Lite. This is a phone camera. I still can't believe that. It looks so polished. Though you can definitely sense it in the sharpness. If you look at those trees back there, you can definitely see the artifacts of phone photography, but I swear it does not hurt this photo. I keep saying that because it's true. It's so super good. Look at those power lines and how they're just like visible right up until the end there. And yes, you can tell it's from a phone, but that really does not hurt the photo at all. I love how the truck there connects to the trees, and the trees make the transition to that mountain slash hill, and then behind that hill is the sun, which also indicates warmth. I love this photo and I think you did a great job. Next up, Akiboy, a new participant in the photography prompts in the supporter server. coming at us with a beautiful little sunrise or sunset, whatever, I don't know, the direction of Earth or something. The colors do look a bit washed out, but that's really hard to address with a phone and a situation like this where you're directly staring into the sun. I love the little sun rays there, but for some reason that lens flare up in that tree is kind of distracting me from the rest of the photo. Normally lens flares don't really bother me as much, but for this one specifically, I think there should have been some effort to get rid of that part. Actually, let me try and give it some color correction, see what would have happened. Fuck off, Photoshop. Is this what? Hold up. Bro, this photo is 9,000 by 7,000. What? Are you printing this on a fucking mural? Holy shit. Okay, well, let me apply my feedback here, see what I can do for you. And I am going to do a shitty job because I need to do a lot more photos. So let's just get rid of this little flare there. Again, pull up the curves here. Lower the lowest points of the photo, higher the higher points of the photo. Maybe tweak that a bit. But then I'm already noticing you're losing a lot of detail because of that sun. So what's interesting, what you could be doing, take away half of the effect here, quite literally, and it'll only adjust what you want it to adjust. And if anyone's interested in learning more about Photoshop and these little techniques that I keep using here and there, like tips on what tools and techniques you could be using for your photographs, I could go on ahead and make a tutorial, but let me know in the comments if you're interested in that. There's a big difference between contrast here, and this might not be something that you're into. That's fine. I'm not saying this is the better photo, I'm just showing you what could have been possible. Alright, next up is Charlotte. That's how I pronounce it. That's just the way we say it in Dutch. Charlotte. And we have a photo here of some bagels. There's actually an entire story attached to this photo, explaining that this took like 700 years to capture, and also it was like 4 AM, I think. I don't know. As for the photo itself, I think it looks very nice. I don't necessarily see a connection between your photo and the warmth prompt, except maybe for some sort of cozy vibe. I can definitely feel that from this photo. But as for the framing and the colors of the photo, I don't think there's anything particularly special happening. But that doesn't mean that there's no photo here. Again, the fact is, you posted this photo and you took an active effort to improve upon something that you don't necessarily know much about. So keep it up, work on that framing a bit, work on the coloring a bit maybe. Try and find out stuff about post-production and what you could do in Photoshop. And I'm looking forward to your next entry. Next up, Tractor with another beautiful nature-filled photo. I love the rainbow in the middle. That's a nice touch. As for warmth, yeah, you can see some sort of a warmy color happening on the trees there. I like how the right is all empty and the left is super filled. If it were up to me, I would get rid of those leaves on the top right there. I think that would create just this slightly cleaner image, which would explain itself easier. There's no real need for those leaves to be on the top right there, if you know what I'm saying. The first time I saw such small details change an image so much, like that blew my mind. And it really is all about the details. Next up, Mortens coming up with a super late entry, but as they said, coming through is better than doing nothing. So I love the colors on top and how dark blue it is, as opposed to the trees. They're glowing this beautiful orange. I love that color contrast and what it means to each other. But I think this photo could use just a tiny bit of a crop. If I were to recrop this photo, I would probably try and focus on this part down here, and perhaps the subject in the photo there. That's how I would place it, because you still contain all the elements that you previously had. You still have the dark blue sky, you still have the contrast with the beautiful lights there, but now you're focusing on the subject walking there, and the background doesn't need to take up all this space. You actually have some sort of a composition going now. And next time you take a photo like that, I would try and focus on that. And let me remind you guys, by the way, you don't need to take these photos perfectly. If you just capture what you want to capture, you can always go in post-production and crop the parts that you need. Of course, at the cost of losing quality here and there. Not all is lost if you take a photo in not the exact way you were meant to take the photo. So don't worry about it too much. Cropping is a very valid way of making your photo work in the end. And then lastly, in the supporter server, we have Neck Gaming this week with the warmth prompt. With this beautiful little light here. I forgot the name of this specific light mechanic and how it works, but I'm a big fan. I love the graininess and how it all conveys that it's been there for a while, probably, this sort of light bulb. I like the photo, man. It looks great. That's all I got to say. I'm sweaty as shit. I'm gonna go clean my face, and then we're gonna move on to the public votes. Alright, now moving on to the public server entries, which are about 20 people. Again, this video turned out to be pretty long already, so we're just gonna go over the public entries like last time, which is just a quick glance over all the entries that we have received. Here's one from Joel. Love the coloring. Look at that. That is textbook right there with the trees in front. That sun looks small. Is that even the sun? Is that the moon? I'm very impressed. This is a great photo. Like, actually really lovely. Good shit. Here we have some pics from some random bloke. And this one specifically really stood out to me. This is so well done. Just the sharp edges on everything. The trees on the right. The little bird there, that's nuts. That's nuts. I even had doubts this was taken for this prompt. But apparently these photos were taken with this prompt in mind, so big win. Here's one from some other person with a car name that I'm not gonna pronounce, it's too much work. Here's one from Obama Orange, I think that's what it is. With a lovely sunset here. It's just a tad bit too dark, but that may just be Discord being annoying and compressing stuff. Love it, love to see it. This one's from Tarzan. I love this coloring job that you did. I absolutely love it. It looks so vibrant, but also so beautifully flat at the same time. I think it's great. Looks like a painting. Good job. Oliver Vices has submitted multiple photos as well, but this one stands out to me. I love the weird tree shapes there. I don't actually see much of those trees in the Netherlands, so for me it's interesting. I think it looks awesome. Keep it up. Really interesting entry here from Progas, which has joined the server just recently. I wonder if they took this after the prompt. But it's ridiculously good looking. It's like so interesting. At first it looks like a ceiling lamp type thing, but it actually turns out to be just some candle, just some ordinary candle. And this is such a beautiful example of what you can do with such a prompt and interpretation. I think this one really conveys the word warmth to me, and it just feels so industrial while also being just so like surprisingly simple. Right, here's some entries from Vio Noob, and this one stands out to me. There's definitely some post-production happening here. It almost looks like there's a sky replacement happening in this picture, but I would probably call it HDR instead of a sky replacement thing, because the trees and the sky, they don't exactly line up with how they're supposed to be appearing with this type of color. Looks like this was shot out of a car, maybe? I don't know, it's definitely warmth. That's for sure. I love this. And I love how the shimmer is happening in the depth of field in the back there too, on the back of the photo. Good stuff. Great coloring. I'm a big fan. Next up is HSE with this seemingly basic photo, but actually pretty interesting to look at. It reminds me of GTA San Andreas for some reason. I find it interesting how the foreground and background are being portrayed by these cables and then the tree back there as well. And then the building in the back to really sell the perspective. Good stuff. Coming at us with a beautiful little candle here. This is such a high resolution photo too. I accidentally had zoomed in on the photo and I was like, what are all these lines? But that's just the carpet. Is this taken with a phone? Because if so, that's a really good phone to take photos with. I love how the grid of the floor does not connect with the shadows. They're going on their own line there, and it's just looking so well set up. I think it's a great picture, and I think you've done a great job. I think there's room for improvement regarding your framing. You could have lined it up perfectly with the corner, for instance, this candle type thing, and it would have created somewhat more of an interesting frame to look at. Other than that, though, good photo. Next up, Kiwi with many candles. Holy shit, did you take this photo? I love it. Look how cute that is. It's just a stairway of candles. I love that. Damn, I can't imagine what type of situation you must have been in to take this photo. That's pretty nuts. Here we have Rick with this photo that almost looks like it's from a folder or something, like some sort of an advertisement folder. It looks so perfectly set up and so sharp. What's there to say? It looks huge. This could be a giant bottle for all we know. Right, here's one from Blueberry Syrup with a lovely little structure here on a beautiful sort of hillside. I think it's a great photo, and it's something I would have never seen probably if I didn't go looking for it. Good stuff. Where have you guys even been? It's kind of weird to think that we've all just went out to all these different places for the same mission. It looks great. I would have never seen this. And finally, there's one from Pedro Dactyl with this lovely little train here. Lovely photo. Thank you for participating. Right, and that's it. That's the end of week 3. So many entries. I'm so happy to see it. Like, we're all over the world, literally making photos and looking at them together. It's a lot though. I think going forward from now on, I'm not going to be focusing on every photo that's been submitted. I think what I'm going to do is, for the supporter-only Discord, I'll still be focusing on every photo and showcasing that in these videos. But for the public entries in the public Discord server, I'm just going to glimpse over it and only showcase the ones that really stand out to me. Oh, shit. I'd love to, of course, give everyone the same amount of attention, but otherwise it's gonna grow too big. I'm not gonna be able to finish these videos in the short amount of time that I have. So I think that's just how we're gonna do it moving forward. I want to thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you back next week with the new prompt being depth. And that's all I have to say about that. Take it as you will, interpret it as you will. Same as always, you can join the public Discord server, and in the rules channel you can get the artwork role, which enables you to see the photography channels and join along with these entries. I am very much looking forward to your entries this week, and yeah, wish you a happy and healthy day. Alright, bye-bye. Okay. Shit.